The truth is an irony, just like animal farm. Justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence. Islamic leaders silence. Kings and queens silence. Traditional leaders silence. So who go say the truth? We are the workers of the call. Now by area, why no better? We are the workers of the call. One guy's out here, why no better? Who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Oh, you need it now, see what's I see so. Now your friend on a night come at them. Only papi obeka nice and beer. So I want one over you at two. Everybody was afraid. And when Tina to my cottage again, once my boy dumping one and I. But who go tell the truth? Nanai or say me. Nanso bien peso beka wasam because everybody is afraid. Anya safwe muayini akukudro for nyina dalima. And who go say the truth? Obiaja konson so to grow your mansa to me be a kakobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo when you know yet. Na so kutrata down so be dia back or why no keke. I fene for be man mo pia for efo no cross on my mo. Anya safwe mo ayini. Akukutro for you na dalima. And who go say the truth? Abaya di bote chino. Yedi bi bebo nyande bi. Tachisa would your mouth pipinuma. Would your mind never shine a frafonsa? But who go tell the truth? TUC silence. Even journalists silence. So then who go say the truth? Right is right. Wrong is wrong, no matter how you justify. You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you, now the person become your target. Jobless, no they mean senseless. Poverty, no they mean useless. One day, them go resist.
Wow, truth and justice. Once again, it's a pleasure to welcome you to MyView show. And as usual, you are watching us live on Today's Ghana News TV. And once again, let me remind you that we are equally live on Switch via satellite, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all on Today's Ghana News TV. And you can equally follow us on Twitter and TikTok, and also as well as podcasts on Anchor FM. Good evening wherever you are, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to another edition of MyView show. That today we come together once again to express our views on sentiments that are very prevalent in Ghana. What are we looking at? A few weeks ago, the New Patriotic Party held their branch elections up to their national elections, and they are done, ready to break the 8. Going forward, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, started with their branch elections, moved into their constituency elections, now moving into their regional elections, and to climax with the national elections on the 17th of December 2020 in readiness for a rescue mission. Is the NDC election a make or break factor for the party? I will express my views. I will introduce my guests, and you up there, you have the opportunity to also express your views on the internal elections of the National Democratic Congress. Once again, stay tuned, and when we come right back, I will introduce my guest for you this evening. It's my pleasure to welcome you once again.
Waiting there happy for Africa. Dusty old men holding on to power, leading the people to where? The grave? Wicked criminal leaders. See them a come, them coming like an angel. But them a thief, them no say them a thief. Mr. President, you coming like a savior. But you a thief, you know say you a thief. Thief President, why a thieving so? Thief man, why a thief so? The people they must suffer, but you don't care so. Thief man, why a thief so? I see the people crying every day, yo. They want food, them can't find. I see the youth looking for a job, oh, every way, them can't find. Mr. President, him just barely food, oh. Him and his family, they no suffer, oh. Suffer, no poor man they suffer, oh. Suffer, rich man go they suffer. Suffer, no poor man they suffer, oh. Suffer, rich man they suffer, lie. See them a come, they coming like an angel. But them a thief, them no say them a thief. Mr. President, you coming like a savior. But you a thief, you know say you a thief. Thief President, why a thieving so? Thief man, why a thief so? The people they must suffer, but you don't care so. Thief man, why a thief so? Mr. President, why you dey lie so? Before election, you tell me you be angel. When you sick, you run go a London. When we sick, we die for Kolebo. Mr. President, why you wicked so? Tell me how you dey sleep at night, oh. See them a come, they coming like an angel. But them a thief, them no say them a thief. Mr. President, you coming like a savior. But you a thief, you know say you a thief. Thief President, why a thieving so? Thief man, why a thief so? The people they must suffer, but you don't care so. Thief man, why a thief so? This is Mr. Traitor, Mr. President, Master of Sleeping, Mr. Sleepy. This is Mr. Traitor, Mr. President, Master of Sleeping, Mr. Sleepy.
Black Rasta sets the tone for us this evening, and it's my pleasure once again to welcome you to my View show. This evening, we want to look at the NDC internal elections, make or break for the party. And my guest this evening is no other person but Miss Rosena, who happens to be a member of the NDC in Belgium. And Miss Rosena, you're most welcome to the program.
Thank you, Jerome. Thank you so much for inviting me here again.
Wonderful. I want to look at the NDC internal elections. We've already enjoyed that of the New Patriotic Party, and they are ready to break the 8. They've done all their elections, they're ready to break the 8.
Yeah.
Today, we want to look at what the NDC is going to do. The NDC internal elections, how do you see it from where you sit as a member of your political party?
It's really interesting though. Yeah, I think so far, yeah, there have been a lot of, a bit of friction here and there, but I think so far, they are doing a good job, and yeah, so far so good, and we hope they keep it up that way. We can't expect it to be that rosy. It's an election. Everybody wants to win, so we should expect some kind of friction, but we just have to be mindful of it so that it wouldn't be another work to do, which will waste our time on, because we don't have time anymore. We don't have time, so we just have to be mindful of how we go about it, so that after the election, it will not be we don't waste time resolving a lot of issues anymore. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the New Patriotic Party, they have their sets already. And looking at the caliber of people that they have, they are very sure they are going to break the 8. Now, let's look at the internal elections in the NDC. Especially, we have to focus at the top, that is the national level. Looking at the caliber of people that are going in for the positions, what are your expectations?
I am 100% sure it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be interesting, and it to come out a very successful one. And just as always, NDC is a peaceful political party that they are known for peace. So I think they will keep it up, and I think it will be the outcome will be great. Looking at the people that are vying for the positions is it's kind of interesting. Mr. The general secretary now becoming, vying for the position of the chairmanship, and that those two most important
That
people.
is where I want you to put me.
Those two most important people, very, very, very interesting, and I'm really, really looking forward.
Because now we have the general secretary vying for the national chairmanship position.
Yeah.
Well, we have seen it. We have seen a similar thing. Not a general secretary going to vie for a national position, but I think this will be about the second time we are seeing an incumbent national chairman being contested.
Okay.
If my memory serves me right, the last one we saw was late Dr. Kobnaji, who was being contested by Honorable Portafi.
Yeah.
And Portafi won, and then went ahead into the next elections. After Portafi, when the then vice chairman, who is now Honorable Ofosu Ampafo, also went ahead to contest him, Honorable Portafi also stepped down. He didn't contest at all, and then he allowed the free will to go. Now, we've moved to a stage where the national chairman is being contested by the general secretary. But let's look at it from another angle. It would have been it's a powerful contest. No one will take anything away from it. But don't you think that this contest can break the party?
Breaking the breaking, I don't think so, but there will definitely be some kind of friction. But I'm 100% positive, optimistic that they will come out of it. The only thing it's now on us to urge them to hold on to, be mindful of the rules of engagement of the whole election, just as I've said earlier, so that in the end we will not come and waste so much time resolving issues, trying to make everybody feel okay before we go for the general election. because we have a very big task ahead of us, which we shouldn't underestimate at all. So when we are listening to them, we are campaigning for them. It's also on us to know where to say, okay, to stop and to know that, okay, it shouldn't go this way. So it's not on them alone. Maybe sometimes we, the people, I mean, their supporters also, pour some kind of petrol in the fire to ginger them to say this and that. It could be so. So it's also our responsibility to know how to go about it. But I think breaking it to not break, it's also I think it's also some kind of a healing process, something that may be bothering somebody may bring it up for the opponent to respond to, and through that, in the end, it's kind of like a healing process as well whilst we are preparing for the election.
Wow, a healing process. And let's look at a scenario. Recently, the General Secretary granted an interview. In the interview, he brought things out that we did not know. For instance, he said in withdrawing NDC from the Ayawaso by-election, yes, the national chairman consulted him. He did not agree with that decision.
Yeah.
And the national chairman went ahead, held a press conference, called off NDC from that by-election, but did not indicate to the media that the position of the general secretary was that he did not agree with that idea of polling out. He went further to add that even John Dramani Mahama called him the general secretary and told him that this was a position of the national chairman, but he was not in support of it, and therefore he, general, should not equally not agree to it. Now, the national chairman has also responded to it. Don't you think that this is an avenue for us to bring all the dirty leanings that we in the public that did not know will know? And those reactions, how do you see
it? Thank you for this. This, I mean, key position holders of our party. Yeah. I think it's kind of, should I say, funny? No, this thing can never happen anywhere, in a sense that, okay, General Secretary Asiedun Ketia, as he said, he was not in agreement with the national chairman of the decision made. But when you look at it, we have FEC, right, which means the functional executive committee of the party, right? So any decision that is being made, I think it passes through all the executives, and it's something that they all deliberate on before making a decision. And I don't think the national chairman will go ahead and take that final decision if the majority of the executives have not approved it. So he alone, sorry to say, cannot say. I'm pretty sure the national chairman, wouldn't have made that final decision without consulting the rest of the executives, which I think they have given him the majority thumbs up for him to make that decision. It's normal. It's normal in this kind of election period. Everybody will bring issues out to make the other opponents feel bad just for vote. So these are some of the things that we should expect. And as I said earlier, it is something also our responsibility. Also, we have to also make them understand that they should be mindful of the rules of the engagement, so that in the end, we may not end up wasting so much time resolving issues, internal issues, while we have the bigger task ahead of us. So I think, yeah, General Secretary, that issue was kind of funny, though, if I'm put it that way. It can never happen anywhere. It can't happen that the national chairman have to say, he said he's not in agreement, but I'm coming to. Definitely, it was the majority decision that took that finalized that decision. I think.
So now, having said that, we are sure that after this election, NDC will come out stronger and ready to rescue Ghana from the current mess that we have found ourselves.
Oh, I am very, very sure. But we can let's get this thing right. This MPP, let me put it, I don't think they are going to sit there irrespective of the poor performance of their government. They are going to sit there to let this thing slide away like that. It's going to be a tug of war. So it's something we have to prepare for. We don't have to just relax. When looking at the 2020 election, it was obvious a lot of things went wrong. NDC have done marvelously well. Rebrand campaign was superb. A lot of time have been put into look at the manifesto. The people on the ground were contacted. It was not just something we came up with. This is our idea. But a lot of things went wrong. We could not. Yeah, and yet at the end of the day, they had their way, and irrespective of the wrongdoings from all angles. So it's not something we have to sit back and watch and think because they are performing bad, so definitely we're gonna have it. Yeah, so it's something we have to work harder for.
Yeah, Nanata from even says that the NDC is late in choosing its executives, but he thinks that it's in the right direction. The party needs quality men and women to lead them. Now, let's look at the individuals that we are going into these elections with. You are coming in as an opposition party, and therefore you must have people who have what it takes to meet the government of the day or the party in government of the day.
Yeah.
Let's look at the position of national chairman. Having looked at the little issues that have cropped up, we have 3 people going for national chairman. We have the incumbent chairman, that is the Honorable Ofosu Ampafo. We have the incumbent general secretary who is moving in there, Honorable Johnson Asedu Nkatia, popularly known as General Mosquito. And then we have Honorable Ni Asheti, who is also coming in as a candidate. So these are 3 people. Of the 3, you are a party member of the 3. How do you see them? I mean, are they all equal strength? Will you have a preference?
Preference? What I always hold on to is let the best man win, because where they are holding a very key positions for the party. I don't think if they don't have that potential, they wouldn't have been there if they don't have that potential. You see, so preference. Yeah, I think we all are looking at their performances with the offices they are holding. What they have done, what they have done so far is some of the things that we definitely hold dear to when we are making a decision. So that one, there wouldn't be any doubt about that. But they are all having what it takes to hold. I mean, to hold the chairmanship position. But yeah, they have to let us know just as they are doing, what they think they can do better than the person who is there. What difference are they bringing on the table? Yeah, this is time is about competency. We don't have to just be going for because no, we are. That's okay. I should speak for myself. I'm definitely going to look at that. If I have to vote, I'm not just this one I like him because of how he talks. I mean, this is a task. Will he be able to? I mean, fight for us, lead us to get to where we are all. I mean, with the common goal we are all fighting for. not just because somebody says this, my friend says it. We have to look at it from our own angle, with our own spectacle, of course. Yeah.
Okay, that is for the national chairmanship. At least we have seen Honorable Ofosu Ampafo. He has brought us out of 2020 elections. And we have seen that of Honorable General Mosquito as a General Secretary. He has also brought us out of 2020. I think the new entrant, Honorable Nia Shetewell, he has been a minister several times before, a member of parliament and all that. So it means that the party must have seen all of them at work, and you, the good people, will decide who is best for your political party. Now let's move from the national chairmanship. Let's move down to the general secretaryship position. There we have the incumbent moving out. So we have a total of new faces, if we want to say so, new faces, in the sense that there are 3 candidates at that point too. We have one of the deputy general secretaries, Dr. Peter Otukono, who is going for the general secretary position now. We have a former deputy general secretary in the person of Honorable Elvis Afriye Ankra. At the same time, a former campaign coordinator, and he has been just coming out of the 2020 election. He's been the director of elections for the party. Now we have Honorable Fifi Kwete, a former member of parliament, a former deputy minister in one of the NDC areas. And don't forget, he was the propaganda secretary in the run-up to the 2008 elections. And these are the 3 people who are vying for the position of the general secretary. What's your take? What do you see in there?
Yeah. 3 people. But it's looking around. It's kind of it's not. They are all trying their best to prove to us that this is what they can do. But I think I saw kind of some articles all over, and some are kind of, I should say, they are really on each other's throat. Okay, I saw only that of Honorable Afriye and Honorable Fifi Kote. And it's like these 2 are more on each other's throat. And I would say they should take it easy, but they are bringing more some kind of issue concerning the 2020 election, the collation of the result, and that thing, because it's really kind of woke people up when they saw some kind of bullet points that Mr. Honorable Fifi Kotes brought up concerning the collation, how the result, the system was done, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think these are the things we are talking about, what you have done. What are you doing? What are you going to do differently? Maybe somebody might see it as some kind of an attack, but in this situation, it's making you aware of what you have done. Even though if you cannot say it's something that you cannot respond to. It's something that is waking the opponent also up that this is what he is saying. Then he has to have a way. He has to have a way to communicate to us now that how he is going to do things differently if election must take place now. And even though he's going in for he's not standing for the anything concerning election. If he has the position as a secretary, he also has a role to play. How is he going to make sure that what had happened during the collation of the 2020 results won't take place again? You see, so even though, yeah, we the supporters, we are thinking the other maybe from the honorable a 3 years camp, they might take it as a kind of an attack, or something that will come from Honorable Fifi Kote's camp. But I think they should look into it and correct certain things, or have a way of communicating it, addressing it at the same time, to put the supporters at peace because sometimes the things are bothering them as well, but they have no medium of communicating it. So we should also take it as this is also part of listening to them and addressing certain issues whilst responding to each other in a very nice way. Then we are good to go. That's my.
But then, if somebody wants to attack Honorable Afriye Ankra for the inability of NDC to collate the 2020 results, well, the person could also have a point. But per your party constitution or whatever, a director of a sector is answerable to your national chairman and general secretary.
Yeah.
So the ultimate responsibility falls on the appointing authority. If certain amenities were not provided for him, apparently he might not be able to come to the public to say that, yes, I needed A, B, C, D, and I didn't get it, and probably that accumulated in whatever misfortunes that your party experienced. But should that be a tool to be used against him as a candidate for general secretaryship position, especially being raised by his own opponent?
Yeah, this is where this is because you see, when before you the technique you use in solving certain issues also counts a lot. I mean, if you master the acts of, okay, it was, the fault was not solely his. Now that they are bringing him up, so was he a thorough report and on that already? Was he a thorough report on that should avoid this thing from happening in the future? You see, so even if it's not his fault, if those things were earlier addressed, I don't think it will still be in the domain now that they may be using, thinking it to buy, the opponent might think to buy him a vote. That's just
most likely, just as we are asking, definitely every department or every director would have provided a report on the election 2020. I think people held a number of review programs from Volta region to Eastern region to all the regional capitals and the rest, to be able to assess the results of the 2020 elections. So it means that all these things that are coming up that you and I did not know means that it was discussed at a point and someone else has picked it up as a weakness.
Yeah.
Will that not even weaken your front?
Yeah. So so it's like that. The information, most of the time, the information keeps recycling. So it comes like that. Okay, then you come and still go back and fetch that report to back your what the person is saying. You see the point? So it's not only from that angle. There were other stuff, but that's what I just pick up. But I'm just saying, that is why I say it might look as if, that fellow, that the opponent might think that may be, that may be something that will buy him vote. But the way, the technique, if he comes out, also come out to, address it backing it with fact and making us know that, oh, this is what has happened. And we are ready. We have seen where the problem was, and we think we are ready now. These are the steps we are taking for it not to happen again. You see that is that then it has been talked about. We will be at peace that, okay, this thing isn't happening anymore. You see, because the result, in the end, the results, the correlation of the results is something that we NDC have fought 2020 election. We really fought. But I don't know. I'm not here trying to emphasize on that, but this is how my view, though, my point, my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. Now we move on down from we have seen the national chairmanship position. We've seen the general secretary position. Let's look at the national organizer's position. I think so far for the national organizer, there are several names that are coming up. The incumbent, Captain Joshua Akamba, or Joshua Hamidu Akamba, his own deputy, Chief Baini, is in there. We have so many other names that are all coming up. Joseph Yamin is also coming up. We have, who is he? One of the former deputy organizers is also coming. I don't know the name, but you know them. What's your take on the position of the general of the organizer?
Oh, this is Honorable Akamba that is contesting, right? Me, that's all I can see. That's all I can say. Look, in this case, just as I say, competency is what the person who is there. Honorable Akamba is a grassroots man. He has shown me, if somebody is not seeing it, he has shown us a lot of. I mean, himself. He has made himself available to the people, the grassroots. Know their pain, communicate with them, and know how to. I mean, bring their pain to the national executives. Not only, and he doesn't leave the pain there. He makes sure something happens. Okay, so. And he's also somebody that I like the mind in the sense that maybe if I don't know, I hope you listen to this open-mindedly. The way he is so brave in taking certain steps when the ruling party try to intimidate. We all know the intimidations they try to infringe a culture of silence on the Ghanaians, but he put it upon himself. He showed a lot of courage. Look at the time during the free HS brouhaha, they were all on the news, they were doing well. But he went right to one of the schools, if I can come up with a school, but is there. He went to the schools, exposed them. The video was all over the place. What was happening? The students were sleeping outside, a shortage of bed, a whole lot of mess that they have created, but they were lying to the public. And after that, they were threatening him, but he didn't stop there. You see, NDC, one thing about NDC, when they are in opposition, then everybody draws back. But as I became, I mean, since I'm kind of like active in politics now, I've seen that he is somebody who is always there, even if they are in opposition or not. You see? So he's there. So me, all I see is Mr. Akamba is contesting for the national as the national organizer. When you look at them, I also look when I see somebody that is, I mean, working, I try to go, who is this man? I also realize that he also uses his office, right, to try and mobilize some kind of fund for the the organizers in the constituencies, based on their, I think based on the population on that constituency, get them motorbike, and even got them a tablet in collation of is it a 2016? In collation of to collate the one of the,
is it the 2020 elections?
I think, yeah, 2020 election, to collate the election. And that collection was tally with the 90s, it tallies with the pink sheet, 95% tallies with the pink sheet. And those were all his, I think he's a mastermind behind all those. And the way I saw him, even with this thing, the thank you talk, I am pretty sure he's the mastermind behind that. So somebody putting himself there, that is what we want. Sometimes the people, the grassroots, they just want you to listen, and he has done that. And one thing I also like about him is that you will never see him talking down on his opponents, and he tries to, he doesn't talk down on them. He lets his work speak. I mean, for him. I don't know him. I've never seen him in person, but it is his works that I've seen that makes me like, for me, he's the one I am seeing. That he's the one. He is there. If you ask me, I don't even know why even an election has to be done for that particular position, though. And I think his teamwork is also there.
That's quite interesting, Senna.
Yeah.
You have more or less singled out the national organizer's position, and it's a done deal for you. Okay, I won't push you much on that. Now let's look at the national women's organizership position. You have so far, we have two people there on the block now. We have Dr. Hanabisu, and we have Margaret. Margaret is a former parliamentary candidate for Suhum and a former municipal chief executive of Suhum under the NDC government. And Dr. Hanabisu is also a former member of parliament and a former minister of state, and currently the national women's organizer. Why do you think that there should be a contest at that position too?
Can you repeat the question again, please? If you don't
Why
mind.
should there be a contest? We have Dr. Hanabisu, the incumbent, and we have Mago also coming up there. Do you think that there's a need for us to have a contest for the national women organizers position?
Honorable Hanabisu is also one of the women I admire a lot. And yeah, yes, of course there should be, because this is, even though they are all there, I mean they've showed to the the NDC as a whole of what they can do. Yeah, it's something that has to happen for, how do I put it? Election must happen, even though I don't know. I can't say much about that. But me, the most important thing for me concerning a women executives is women in leadership. I just want to see the women there, and I think Honorable Hanabisu have done has been there actively. I wouldn't lie. I've not really seen the rest very actively, so I can't say much about that. But yeah.
But some people have the view that Dr. Hanabisu abandoned her position as national women's organizer and trying to organize the women for the success of the NDC in the 2020 election and focus more on the parliamentary seat. At that point, she was holding the two positions to herself. Well, you know very well that is when the NDC needed her most to mobilize people, to mobilize the women, especially with the population of Ghana currently, the women are more than the men. So if you're able to do a lot of good work with the women's side, then you stand a better chance of increasing your vote margins. And people are still scared that wouldn't her come back as National Women's Organizer with another eye on the parliamentary seat. So what it means is that in going to 2024, the woman might be abandoned once again and her focus will be on the parliamentary seat. So that is the fear that is being expressed. Do you also see that as a fear?
Yeah, because I think it's a very serious point that has been raised there, because these women, I mean, organizing, it's not a thing that has to be a divided attention has to be given to. So if the people are seeing it this way, then it's serious. Then I should say there is a fear that the people will also vote accordingly, unless something is done, or he tried, I mean, communicate it to them of of her plans, because this position is very, very important to be neglected, if you ask me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so now take a break and we'll take the comments and views of our participants. And then when we come back, we will take a few questions from Sena and then we can run up. Today we started a bit quite late. Apologies for that. So the first comment that I see here is from a Facebook user watching live from the United States of Amasaman constituency. Well, we know that there's always somebody from that United States. We are grateful that you are part of us. Rose, you are saying good evening. We are very grateful, Rose, that you have joined us. At least I know we will see you again come next week. Also, Superior, good evening, comrades. I'm watching from Barcelona, Spain. Please, we can't hear Sena well. You should put more fire. Oh, okay, Sena. Sorry, I didn't see that. But I'm pretty sure when she comes back, she will increase her voice and her fire, that you can pick something from it. Patience Danko, once again, grateful always. Good evening. I'm watching from Hamburg, Germany. We're grateful, Patience. Brimpong, I love the submission of Sena, watching from Warsaw, Poland. We're very grateful, Brimpong, that you have joined us once again. As for Kunti Nana there, as usual, we never miss you. Good evening. Watching you on YouTube from Poland. Okay, we're very grateful. Nana Tefremu, the NDC is late in choosing its executives, but I think it's in the right direction. The party needs quality men and women to lead, I'm sure, if I got that right. John Baptist, Dr. Nan says, watching you live from Cologne. We're very grateful that you have joined us. Oh, your comment once again. For any well-functioning democracy, internal competitions are healthy. The NDC should work hard to ensure our national party elections, including the flag bearership race, as well as the diaspora NDC chapter elections, make us, NDC, the diaspora are holding elections. Okay, Sena will have to give us a bit more into that. Makes us stronger and much more united as a party to seize power from this inept and super incompetent Nana Bawumia-led regime in 2024. All aspirants should do their campaigns without insults. May the best comrades competing for various national positions win on merit. Eyezu. Wonderful. So these are a few comments that have just come in. Then I will bring back Sena to tell us more about the internal elections, especially at the diaspora level. Then we just read from one of the comments that the elections is not only at the national level, the diaspora level too, elections are ongoing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how is it like to hold elections in the diaspora for your party?
Oh, I don't think there's much difference, because the same thing. The branch the
But
constituency.
Ose Superior is asking you to put more fire. He
Hey,
can't hear you well.
maybe I have to increase. Is it okay now? I hope
No,
you.
he wants to see the fire in your voice. I think so.
Sorry, I'm kind of exhausted today, but that is why it wouldn't. I'll try. Yeah, the election in the diaspora is ongoing. We are preparing the branch election, which is the constituency election. When if you were to be in Ghana, is ongoing. All the the countries, the continents, Europe, Asia, no, Africa, except exempted, Ghana in exemption. We are all preparing, very, very preparing. We are all campaigning. Campaign is ongoing, and it's really interesting. Just the difference is not that, just as how it is back home, though. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So then, well, according to John Baptist now, he expects that you people will hold your elections and may the best win, devoid of insults and all that. But at the end of the day,
Exactly.
party unity is what matters.
Exactly.
Now,
Because
let's
yeah.
just, we're expecting this communication officer hopeful for Volta region to join us, but unfortunately, he's unable to be part of it. What means is that over this weekend, the NDC goes to the polls at the regional levels, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
from the regional levels, we go to the national levels.
Yeah.
Let me get this clear. There is so much keen and interest in the Volta region,
Mm-hmm.
especially for the for the regional chairmanship.
Mm-hmm.
What is so special about Volta?
Volta, Volta, Volta. Volta is as important to NDC just as Ashanti region is important to MPP. So, and not only does, but our founding father is from Volta region. So it's sort of like I hate to say politics shouldn't be divided in ethnicity, but Volta is kind of been there for NDC because there's no other alternative. Um, when somebody asks, so what is he? What NDC and the ideology? Me, I tell them, you know what? Go me even okay NDC ideology, NPP ideology, yeah, you can still have it there. This is what they say they stand for, capitalism, whatever, and NDC have its ideology here. But when you look at their performances, so when you look at and you ask me, so what at all is he I'll ask you, go back and study, go back and know the difference between night and, and a day, and come back and then I'll tell you which is which. We don't and Volta, I should say, is more. Yeah, we've been there for NDC because they believed in NDC to execute what it said. Volta lies. They can't the lies. They will come with propaganda, just to come and tell lies to convince them. They try to invade, to bring to imperialism, to divide them, and so that they can have their way. But when you look at the election, 2020 election, you will see that it wasn't that they voted for them, even though they were able to make them understand, believe that, yeah, the NDC they've been voting for NDC for ages now, but what have they done for them? But they still know that they are lying. So they decided, if that was 2016 election, they've decided, if I will have to go and vote for somebody who is lying, and because the person I believe in neglected me, but did wonders in other regions, then I better not vote. And it was obvious. It was obvious that Volta region didn't vote in 2016 election, and didn't vote for MPP either. You see, so Volta is kind of like the World Bank for NDC, and there has been a lot of complaint there. And 2020 election, they've realized that the people who came trying to, psych them in a kind of way to tell them that they are not doing anything. They also came, and they are even the worst. They brought tribalism, the way they treated them. Look at it during the registration for 2020 election. It was so messy. It was messy, and it was, yeah. And the end.
Why was it messy? Yes, we had heavy presence of military.
Military men.
Yeah, it was just to prevent the got information that terrorists wanted to come in through Volta, so they had to send the military men to go and safeguard the place.
Yeah.
So why was this intimidation here? We don't know, trying to prevent terrorists and people coming in with COVID from attacking you in the Volta region.
No, it's a lie. They have they claim the Voltarian will allow people from the border town, the Aflau town, people will travel from Togo to come and vote here, register and vote. That was just their idea. That was just something they were just, just a speculation all over, and they were acting on it, lying that they were terrorists or whatever. And in the end, they also had to close the border because of COVID, a whole lot of things just to sabotage Volta, to make sure NDC does not get the vote that they normally get there. And they thought they succeeded. But when the results came, it took them by surprise that still they could not, succeed in what they were thinking. Yeah.
Anyway, it's unfortunate without your other counterpart from Volta region.
Yeah,
it's not a problem. What I want you to do is, you just have to look into the camera and then speak to your people, your NDC people in Ghana, your NDC people in Volta region, that they are going into their polls, especially the regional polls, this weekend. Mm-hmm. You need them to go in there, and I'm pretty sure that you will want to admonish them not to look at the monetary inducements to vote for people, but rather to get people, like someone rightly said, the party needs quality men and women to lead them into 2024.
Yeah.
NDC cannot afford to fail Ghanaians.
Mm-hmm.
The mess in which we have found ourselves. The MPP is in power. We have seen what they have done. We have seen what they can do. All that they promised us, they have failed us.
Yeah.
We, the ordinary Ghanaians, we are looking up to the NDC as the alternative to come and rescue us. Look into the camera and then assure us that NDC, come 2024, will make a different mark.
Yeah. Yeah. Just you've said it all. I'm just urging my people, NDC people, right from the Volta region. Let's really work together with the people that have the competence, that have the heart to work, to put themselves out there to work. Money, that money you will take it. But at the end of the day, you end up, marking time, things are not being done. So my only plea is that we should work together with the people who have the competency to do the work. not just coming to speak big grammar or coming to share money. Mind you, the money they come to share, when they come to office, they will make sure they have that money back. That is where the problem is coming from. If he comes to power with a competency and knowing very well he's not coming to have anybody sorted out, you see that money that is allocated to develop our areas will be focused, will be used solely for that. So we have to get up, work together with the executive people that are competent. The youths have to get up, work hand in hand with the executives to, bring out the ideas. You not being an executive does not mean you cannot work together, you cannot get things done. Your idea is needed. You supporting somebody, sponsoring somebody does not necessarily mean you have to give that person money. Your idea, your effort, your energy is also part of sponsorship. Let's all work together and fight. That goal. When we have to work together and get that thing done. So, thank you.
For having you this evening, and I'm just been reminded that the NDC in Germany will also be going to the polls on the 3rd of December in Hanover, where they have their Congress to also elect their chapter executives. So it means that all roads leads to Hanover 3rd December. We hope and pray that the NDC will come out, NDC Germany will come out of that Congress stronger and more united to lead the NDC, not only in Germany, but back home in Ghana, so that your support will help to rescue the mess in which we have found ourselves. So if you are an NDC member in Germany, this is an information for you, that the chapter Congress is on the 3rd of December in Hanover. And I'm pretty sure your executives will give you more details. So we are very grateful to all of you, wherever you have joined us from. Unfortunately, we didn't have much time today, but come next week, we will have another vibrant program where we will come in with more discussion and in-depth knowledge on certain practices back home in Ghana, especially the contribution of our politicians to the development of our indigenous areas, our constituencies, and our villages. What is the role of the parliamentarian? Is he a development partner, or is it somebody who has to concern himself with law making? Stay tuned with us till we come your way next week, and whatever you do, do it to the glory of God. Have a very good evening, and thank you for being part of this program. Good night.
Mampam also untie so dogo binwa bem mampam also untie nani amuka nyina guna swati move swara mampam also untie